Springfield's rock station Q92.9. What's going on? I'm Cruz and really excited to be joined by NASCAR Cup Series driver Daniel Suárez. He drives the number 7 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports and is coming off a very hard-fought 7th-place finish at one of the toughest tracks on the circuit, Darlington, this past weekend. Now, Daniel, you're with a new team this season, and you all have been clicking already with great runs and finishes. What makes Spire different from some of the other teams you were a part of?
You know, Cruz, that's a great question. The Spire Motorsports is a very young team. You were asking me probably, 4 or 5 years ago if I was seeing myself in the Spire Motorsports, I was gonna probably really doubt it. But it's incredible the growth and the progress that the Spire Motorsports has done in the last few years. Honestly, very, very remarkable. And for me to be part of it now is very special. You know, they have amazing group of people. They have a lot of good racers in there. But just like any business, you know, it's everything about the people. And they have great people and in the right places. And it's just a very good growing organization. The best part is that we're not even close to our full potential yet. I'm very excited for where we are right now, and I'm very, very excited for where we're heading.
Yeah, it seems to be a really great partnership so far. Now, Daniel, how do you and your number 7 team keep your momentum going into a tough track like Martinsville this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to continue to execute our job, right? Continue to focus in ourselves. Many people have asked me in the last couple of weeks, how am I working? What is my target? What are the goals? And really the goal is very simple. The goal is to continue to be the best 17 possible, continue to improve, and continue to put one foot in front of the other and continue to move forward. We're not competing against, in our minds, we're not competing against anyone but ourselves. So that's going to be the best way for us to continue to improve. And obviously, you know, we are fortunate enough that we have great equipment and we have started this year the right way with good speed. And we just have to continue to do that and enjoy it, right? Have fun in the process, which that's the most important part.
I really like that, though. Focus on yourself and your team. Like, that's pretty important. Now, this week I read, Daniel, that NASCAR is considering adding some additional horsepower to larger tracks. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I think that Darlington was a good experiment. You know, we had the low downforce package and more power, and I thought the racing was a lot of fun. The cars were very, very difficult to drive, but the racing was fun. So I think that anything is a possibility, maybe. I think that it wouldn't be a bad thing. So let's see. I think NASCAR has definitely all the data and all the information, and I'm sure that eventually once they see all this information, they're going to share it with all drivers, and eventually a decision is going to be made. But again, you know, for now, we have to put our focus and our efforts into Martinsville, and also eventually, you know, in a few weeks, we're coming to Kansas, which is a very fast mile and a half, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to Kansas Speedway. It's producing some of the best racing on the entire series for the year. We get 2 races per year, which we're pretty spoiled with. But Daniel, how do you prepare for a track like Kansas Speedway that can be fast, it can be slick, it can be very tricky at times?
Yeah, you know, Kansas, I can recall exactly how old this speedway is the last time that it was repaved, but right now the racetrack is in amazing shape. In that phase of the life of the asphalt that it has good character, good racing. You can race in the bottom, you can race in the top, you can race in the middle. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for racetracks, asphalt to cure. And Kansas, for several years now, it has produced some of the best racing in mile and a half. So super excited to come back here, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is definitely going to be a great race. Looking forward to getting back to the track in less than a month. You can get your tickets, by the way, at Q929rocks.com or KansasSpeedway.com. Now, Daniel, we all have bad days at the office. Myself, you know, you've had them. How do you keep your mindset when you're going through a race that's really not going your way? What kind of helps you reset the fastest?
Yeah, I mean, in a race, a lot of things happen, right? Like a lot of things happen. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. The strategy, decisions, pit stops. When things are not going your way, what you have to do is to learn of whatever is happening and reset yourself. It sounds easy, but sometimes it's difficult to do it in the moment. But it's very important to reset yourself and make sure that if you have a bad situation right now, that doesn't affect the next situation, if that makes sense. So, for instance, you know, like if we have a bad pit stop, we have to make sure that we get it out of the way and reset, because we don't want that bad pit stop to affect the next one, if that makes sense. So it's just very, very important just to keep that in mind and to understand that all these situations is just feedback, and we have to use that to be able to continue to get better throughout the race.
No, that is very well said, because it could snowball pretty quick, especially if a bad pit stop, you get a little behind. It's a whole thing. I've seen it in multiple races, so that is a great mindset to have. Now, Daniel, if you could pick one track in the entire world to be a part of the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, which one are you going with?
Man, that's such a tough question. Man, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I have always liked to race in a racetrack like Spa, in Belgium, Suzuka, all these races. I have never been in any of these racetracks, but they are so unique and have so much history. I don't even know. Probably they're not going to create good racing for NASCAR, but they are cool tracks. So, yeah, all depends if we're talking about experience or racing.
I feel like any of those tracks would be incredible to see on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Well, Daniel, we are looking forward to seeing you at Kansas Speedway on April 19th. It's going to be a great day at the track. Best of luck this weekend at Martinsville. We'll be pulling for you.
Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. See you in a few weeks.
I cannot wait. Road crew, get your tickets at kansasspeedway.com. That's Daniel Suárez, the driver of the number 7 Spire Chevrolet on Springfield's Rock Station Q 92.9.